Hi guys, it's the evening of June 6, 2015, and I am at around mile 844. So I just did the Priest yesterday and 3 ridges today. So I can give you a quick recap of those. It is the first day in June today that we haven't seen rain. It's been raining every day for 5 days straight here in Virginia. So I was very thankful to wake up this morning and discover that it hadn't rained overnight and that it continued to stay sunny all day. It was really like a pretty rare occurrence after so much rain. And the AT in this section is a little bit rocky, which makes hiking in the rain harder because my shoes are really bad on wet rock. It's hard to find shoes that are good on wet rock, but mine are really bad. So every time that I've hiked on wet rock, I've fallen once, sometimes twice a day, and obviously that's not something you want to do over a bunch of rocks in the rain with a pack on, because you're just likely to injure yourself. Thankfully, I haven't had any serious injuries, though had some leg pain, so been taking it easy. But tomorrow we're gonna do like the last 16 miles into Waynesboro and be in the Shenandoahs on Monday, because I have to pick up a package of some new shoes. I finally bit the bullet and ordered some shoes with ordered some shoes with thicker soles for the rocks, because Pennsylvania isn't that far away, and I'm hoping that the Anu Sugar Pine shoes and the Green Super Feet that I have sent to me in Waynesboro are going to help me hike a little better over rocky terrain instead of feeling everything in my feet, which has been an unpleasant experience, obviously. There's some strawberries growing wild on the trail right now, so seeing the first like edible foods on the trail that aren't put there by somebody else. And with all the rain, I've been really worried about foot care and my feet, and trying to keep my feet dry. I have those waterproof sealskins I mentioned, and they work pretty well, but since I've been wearing shorts, since it's so warm, and had bare legs and not rain pants, water just gets in the top of the sealskins, and then my feet stay wet all day and they never dry out, so they get really nasty and all pruny and gross. So I've been trying different techniques. I tried duct taping them yesterday and the day before, which was pretty painful because the duct tape was on my skin, but it worked well in terms of allowing my socks to stay waterproof and nothing to come in. So that's one thing that I've been doing. And then I think the critical component to foot care when it's wet like that is to take off your socks a lot and try to air out your feet at shelters, especially where you can actually get them out of the wet conditions and don't have them and just, if you have to, if they're that wet, take a handkerchief and wipe them off, and then maybe put some foot powder on them to dry them out further, and then just let them sit for maybe 10 or 15 or however long you're breaking minutes, and then they stay, trying to get my face in here, they stay nicer a little longer. So that's one technique for foot care, and it's hard. I always forget how hard it is to take care of your feet in the rain. I'm glad that this year hasn't been too bad of a year, I think, in terms of the amount of rain we've gotten. Like some years when it rains more, I know more people drop out, but I don't think that's been as much of a problem this year, so that is lucky. But those 5 days of rain were tough, and it's tough on morale to have all that time where there's no sun or any sign that conditions are gonna improve again, and it's also hard to balance what to hike with. Since I have the umbrella, I've been using that, and I haven't really been hiking in my raincoat because the raincoat just makes me sweat like nothing else. So I really don't like hiking in rain clothes unless it's really cold, because they just hold in your sweat, make you uncomfortable, make you just as wet as the rain itself a lot of the time, unless it's really pouring. So for all people's skepticism about the trekking umbrella, at least among people I've met, the truth of the matter is lots of people out here envy having a trekking umbrella, and it also comes in handy in towns when you're walking somewhere all the time. And now I'm trying to time my 0 days for when there's bad weather. That's my new resolution. I'm trying to take fewer, but also just for bad weather. And you end up walking a lot, so it's nice to have it when the weather's bad in town too, because then you're not exercising so much, or you're walking on an easier terrain, so it's easy to get cold and uncomfortable. What else has been going on lately? I'm trying to figure out where we are in the bubble. I know a lot of people have passed us and that I'm going pretty slow, but I also know that the ATC website does say like till July 15th to get to Harper's Ferry to head north, so I'm not really sure how many people hit Harper's Ferry in mid-June, when I'm probably going to end up hitting it. But it seems like, God, this is so rocky. It seems like it's so uneven some days, like definitely in a bubble. But the other day we saw, I counted 20 people, 20 thru-hikers in different shelters and stuff, or more, maybe 25. And today I've seen 3 northbound thru-hikers. One was a flip-flop. So it's like really not very even. It's kind of weird to think about that, but I don't know. And I think a lot of people are in the Shenandoahs right now, so we're slightly behind. But then the April starters, who are not as fast, I know must be a little behind me, so I'm not sure. But I really like to be out of Virginia sometime soon, because it's definitely not flat like everyone promised. Also, about the priest, and let me see how long this video is. Okay. About the priest and about 3 ridges. Did the priest yesterday. Northbound, the uphill for the priest is pretty short. You're just mostly doing the downhill, which I can't remember is like 3 or 4 miles of switchbacks, but it's a little rocky and it's a lot of switchbacks. So it's kind of long and it takes a while, but it's really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think they rerouted it. I met someone today who said that he was part of the crew who rerouted the priest, so maybe the old priest was a lot more steep and worse. I'm not really sure. And then the 3 ridges is pretty steep uphill. I think it's a total of 6 miles, but there's like a break in there. And that was very rocky, but again, a lot of switchbacks and not really all that taxing compared to stuff we've climbed. I think a lot of times when I see people who are slack packing, who are also thru hikers, who I recognize, and I ask them now, like, how's the climb? For a mountain I'm about to climb, they'll say, you know, it's tough, but it's nothing you haven't done before. So I think that's kind of the motto now. We're just, after 800 some miles, we so often are used to having to climb up and down mountains that, like, having a ton of switchbacks and some rocks is something that is pretty much par for the course. And I know it's going to get harder, but up north, but here it's really, I mean, even though it's been like pretty steep climbs, someone commented that it's going to get really hard out of Daleville, and I thought it was like definitely not the easy section that people promised. I've heard the Shenandoahs might be slightly easier, but definitely not the worst thing ever either. So it's like pretty standard, pretty par for the course. The thing about Virginia is it is long, and when you're taking some days off like I have been to go to like cities and stuff, then it becomes even longer because, you know, you just feel like you've been in Virginia forever. So I'm excited to kind of get into the Shenandoahs and then past the Shenandoahs and then to West Virginia, where supposedly, I'm always skeptical about it, it's actually flat for a little bit at least. So I'm always curious of where the actual flat places on the trail are. If you know the trail well, tell me what the flattest, like the longest flat stretch that you've seen on the trail is, of like where it's not super rocky, because every time, for instance, this section right here, these 3 miles have a very unimposing elevation profile in AWOL's book, so I thought that these would be pretty easy way to end the day. And they're not terrible, but they're definitely very rocky, which is not a very fun way to end the day. So if you know of where I can actually expect some flat terrain, I would love to hear it. I need to go because it's getting a little late and I need to get to the creek or the spring before the sun sets, because I need to get some water. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.